so I'm Bram and I am the Deputy Head of Lighting. I'd heard things about Stratford. I finished studying in 2022. So, there was lots of projects that were around the area that were being advertised by Stratford and stuff like that. And then when I started my second year at university, I came as a casual, as like a freelancer to come and help with fit-ups and kind of just assist wherever they needed me. Sometimes that was in lighting, sometimes that was on stage. But yeah, I've been attached to the theatre for about 5 or 6 years now. So which actually is a very small part of its history if you look back at it. But yeah. I think one of my favourite shows to work on was probably The Big Life. It was, the kind of scale of it was by far the biggest show that I've ever done. We'd also been through quite a lot of staffing changes at the time, so there was a lot more expected of me, but also I had the opportunity to do a lot more with creatives and directors, and had my say a bit more than I usually would in that show, which was very exciting. One of my favourite shows to just watch, I think, was The Women of Romney, because that was I've never seen theatre like that before, and usually I'm not a massive fan of straight plays usually, because I get very jittery, very bored very quickly, but I couldn't take my eyes off the stage for that entire show. It was amazing, and it captivated me, and I'm just seeing everyone walk out pale faced and experience so much from that show and learn so much from that show. I had exactly the same reaction. I thought it was amazing. I think this theatre is amazing for the community, and I think that there's literally anybody can get involved, and I think that's, from working in different places, from the places that I've worked at before, I haven't seen it on a scale as big as Stratford. So the Young Tech course, having a big part to play in that and supporting, young technicians, and then the Young Actors course, where they come in and they get the opportunity to stand on our stage and do a performance with loads of other industry professionals. Even the stuff that we produce reaches out to a wider community than what theatre usually would, I think. And the diversity in Stratford anyway, we're what feels perfectly placed to be producing these things, because we are reaching out to all different communities and people, which is really cool to work on. It's really hard to put my finger on. It just feels like home at this point, and even talking to people who have, not worked here in years and years, it has a kind of magnetic strength to kind of pull you back. And I think that's partly to do with what we produce and the shows that we do. And I think that it's always exciting to kind of work on new projects that we do, but also kind of revive stuff that, we did 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's always very exciting. But also just everybody is so friendly, and though there's we're reaching out to the community with what we produce, we're also looking after our own community within the theatre, and you don't walk past anyone in the corridor without saying hello. Everyone's very friendly, and it's just generally a really lovely place to work. I think, well, firstly, visually, I don't think there's any theatre quite like ours that looks like ours. It's got a lot of character, and spending a lot of time in the theatre, for fit-ups, get-ups, whatever, you can never fully take in the beauty of the theatre. And I think that has a big part to play on, the atmosphere of when someone comes to watch something. It makes a huge difference of the seat that you're sitting in to watch that thing, and being sort of submerged in so much history anyway. I think a lot of people know us for our history, and a lot of people are aware of what we've done in the past and our plans for the future. I would say it's the opportunity that's given to young directors that haven't directed for the first time, young designers who haven't designed for the first time, and I think, just giving people a lot of opportunity. And I think that, a lot of the time that our staff pool is a lot smaller, and we have, certain challenges that we face with that, but actually giving people that opportunity to go above and beyond what they're expected and then define job role, it actually makes the entire place more inclusive anyway. So that's a really good thing. and that's something definitely that I've experienced since working here.